Chapter 21.
So, 21. It's one of those, nicer chapters where it's one of those shorter ones, but it's filled with jokes. But what's interesting is sometimes the shorter chapters base their jokes off the longer chapter before, but this one seems to be to make its own stuff as it goes along.
Yeah. I know
So,
you said, it's just like a short, funny chapter.
Yeah.
And it's not really related to any of the other stuff going on because it's Arthur sitting, waiting, and reading the Hitchhiker's Guide to keep himself entertained. At least that's how it starts.
He hits random buttons and he reads a weird insert about Vít Vujagid, and it's like as he reads it, he seems to think that this must have been some of these must have been ideas that sounded like a good idea at the time to the editors.
Yeah, I like that. I like the line that says, "The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a very unevenly edited book." It's some of the passages, like Earth, is just harmless, mostly harmless, or whatever. But then it goes off on tangents about Vogon poetry or whatever, in depth.
But this one's quite funny because it's about this man who had a promising future. He goes out drinking with Zaphod, and he becomes obsessed with the idea of what happens to all of the lost Biros. And then he comes to the conclusion there's a Biro planet with Biro-based organisms.
What is that word you're saying?
Biro.
What is a Biro?
Like a pen.
Are you trying to say ballpoint?
Yeah. Put a picture. It's like Biro. Like a ballpoint pen. It's like
a brand
the
name?
clear plastic. No, it's I think it's actually I'm trying to think. I think it's based in French. I'm not sure, but it's like how you have hundreds of those long transparent pens with the black or blue plasticky bit in the end and the ballpoint.
No, I know what a ballpoint pen is, just a cheap pen, but
yeah,
the term biro, how do you even spell it?
Yeah, it's Biro. Yeah, biro. Are you confused?
It looks more like seeing it written out makes more sense to my brain, but hearing someone say it, no, I think we do have those in America. It's just never heard someone refer to it. I've always heard just pen or ballpoint pen or whatever.
Yeah, well, I've always heard it as a pen, but I guess Biro's already on equipment lists, or that's the thing they say in school, stores, shops. But
yeah, that might be a slight Britishism.
Britishism, yeah.
I don't know.
Adams was British, I think. Yeah, he helped it. Anyway, which I guess explains quite some of the more drier parts of this book. So he was saying, he came to the conclusion that among humanoids, reptilioids, fishoids, walking treeoids, and a planet inhabited by a super intelligent shade of the color blue, there was also a planet with based in Biros, which is. But then it also goes on to talks about Zaphod Beeble Brox's highly profitable second-hand Biro business.
Did yours actually say biro in the book?
Yeah, my one says Biro.
Mine says ballpoint everywhere, so we must have slightly different edited versions.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, right.
Well, anyways, either way, same meaning. Yeah, there's a pen planet.
I think it's a small language. I think Biro is based in French, pen or something like that.
Pen in French is stylo, I think.
Stylo.
So,
I just remember something was Biro, or maybe it was. Anyhow.
But
yeah.
I do think that's kind of funny that this guy's like, trust me, there's a planet of pens. I worked as a chauffeur for a nice pen family or whatever, and no one believes him. But he also started down this rabbit hole when he was drinking with Zaphod, and then coincidentally Zaphod has this nice secondhand pen market business.
Yeah.
Clearly he's gone to that planet and scooped up all the pen families and sold them.
Yikes.
Which gets into some Toy Story levels of are the pens alive? Are they not alive? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like what's the deal here?
But that's, I guess, a fun part about these Hitchhiker's Guide entries, that they are what they are, and it's like you don't have to go too deep into them. It's like,
Yeah.
it's fine. It doesn't have to fully make sense.
Arthur read this, and then he just kind of just puts it down like, oh dear. So then, yeah, Arthur has like a little wander around the crater, and then he sees a double sunset.
Yeah, Arthur and Marvin have very different levels of excitement about that dual sunset. Like,
Yeah, so he wakes him up to tell Marv, because he was like, you know what, manically depressed robot is better than no one. And then he tries to make conversation to him about Earth, and he's like, oh wow, I saw this double sunset. And it's like, oh, they're like, oh yeah, I hate those. Or
yeah, he's like, I've seen it. It's terrible.
yeah, it's like, night's falling. Look, robot, the stars are coming out.
How dreadful.
It's like, I know,
Whatever.
wretched, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's rubbish. And then he asks him, so that planet of yours, do you have oceans? And he's like, yeah,
Oh yeah, lots
great.
of oceans.
And he's like, oh god, I can't bear oceans.
Mm.
And he's like, and he asks him, do you get on with other robots? He's like, no, hate them. And he's like, where are you going? And then just Arthur walks away again.
Yeah, it's just like anything Arthur tries to talk about with him to like cheer him up or find something he's interested in, Marvin's just like, oh no, that's the worst. Hate it.
Yeah, I guess
That's
it
kind
is
of his
annoying when you
thing.
have those types of people in real life.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, look, this really cool thing. It's like, oh, thanks, I hate it. It's like, oh, I
Oh,
tried really hard.
can be hard to deal with.
Yeah,
Especially if it's like, I was excited about the dual sunset, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, no, it's the worst. You're wrong for being excited about it.
you're objectively wrong about your subjective experience.
Yeah. It's like, oh, thanks for ruining it for me, Marvin.
And then there's this quite nice little bit where Marvin counts to 596,000 million before falling asleep a second later.
Mm-hmm. That's quite the
Counting.
processing power there.
Yeah. So Arthur slaps his arms like we're really getting the idea that this planet is freezing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
At least the
he just
surface.
keeps walking around.
And at the very end of the chapter, he walks straight into an old man.
Yeah, that's where it ends.
I guess we shall see what becomes of this.
Dun dun dun.